Today we'll be guiding you through navigating the Crestron touch panels that are found in many of our classrooms throughout campus. We know more standardization across classrooms is desired, and we've been working hard to achieve that. Currently, about 40% of classrooms will have a Crestron touch panel that looks very similar to what you'll see in this video. That percentage will continue to grow in the next refresh cycle. Let's take a look. When you first walk into a classroom, the screen of the Crestron touch panel may be black. Simply touch the screen to wake it up. Once the Crestron touch panel is awake, follow the on-screen instructions and touch the screen to begin. Now that you've touched the control panel, you'll be able to select one of the available sources to display on the screen. Pressing a source icon will bring the system online, and that source will be displayed on your projector or TV. Let's start with the computer. Once the projector or TV come online, you should see the classroom computer image on the screen. Keep in mind that it takes a little time for the system to come online, so be patient as the TV and/or projector turn on. Pressing the computer icon brings up a new page instructing you to enter your TCU username and password to log into the computer. If you are using a wireless keyboard, make sure that it is turned on before attempting to log in. Now that the computer source is online, let's check out the other source options. Pressing the second input source will bring up the Bluray player. Give the system a few seconds to switch between inputs, and the Bluray menu screen should come up on the TV or projector. You will notice that the panel now displays controls that you can use to use the Bluray player. You can play, pause, and stop video here, as well as control the unit as if the remote was in your hands. Don't forget that if the unit doesn't come online when this source is selected, you can hit the power button on the panel to tell it to turn on. Let's take a look at the next source option. Pressing the third input source will bring up the Air Media device. Air Media is a device that allows you to wirelessly broadcast your laptop or mobile device up to the screen without having to use any cables. You can download the software needed to use Air Media at www.tcu.edu/airmedia. Another great benefit of Air Media is that students can use it too. Air Media allows students to quickly share their screens, making student contribution and collaboration easy. Once on this page, you will see the IP address and the access code that you would enter into the software on your computer or mobile device to begin sharing your screen on the TV or projector. Keep in mind that while Air Media is a fantastic tool that allows you to teach from anywhere in the room, we still recommend that when you play videos or movies that you use the classroom computer or the laptop input to get the best possible image quality. Let's take a look at our other source options. The fourth input source is for your laptop. This input source is used when you want to plug your laptop device into the presentation system. Keep in mind that we put HDMI connections in these rooms to connect to your laptop. It is important that you have the appropriate adapter to connect to an HDMI cable in order for this to work. Once connected, you will sometimes have to visit the control panel or system preferences on your computer in order to tell your machine to display your screen as a mirrored image. Let's check out the last source on the list, which will pull up the document camera. Keep in mind that if your room is equipped with a document camera, that it will normally be off to the side on a rolling cart. You will need to plug the device into the document camera port on the front of the rack and into power. The controls for the document camera are located on the device, but if you happen to have a ceiling-mounted camera, the control panel will give you icons that will allow you to zoom and/or focus the image. Now that we have checked out all of the sources, let's click the home icon and go back to the main page. On the home screen, you can manage the sound of your input source by pressing the up or down volume buttons. You can use the mute button to mute the sound in the room. Just keep in mind that it will only mute the sound and not the image on the screen. Now that we have checked out all of the sources, let's look at the advanced options that you may have in the settings menu. Press the gear icon to get into the settings menu. Every room is equipped a little differently, so your settings menu may have fewer options based on what is available in that room. In this case, the room has display equipment, a camera, and an assisted listening microphone system. Let's take a look at the display controls. This is the menu that will pop up if you have a single projector or TV in the room. You can manually turn the display on or off and mute the image from this page. Muting the image will bring up a big red bar across the top of the screen to remind you that your display image has been muted. This option will help to give you some privacy if you need to set up a presentation on the computer but don't want the class to see what you are doing. If you happen to have more than one projector or TV in your classroom, this is the menu that will come up instead. You can manually turn off displays from this menu as well as change the source that you want to display. This will come in handy if you want to display two different sources on displays at the same time. In this case, we can select Computer for Projector 1 and then select Air Media for Projector 2. Once selected, the different sources will appear on each of the selected displays. Keep in mind that when you originally turn on the equipment, it will always mirror the same source on both displays. This is the menu that you would use to have the system display more than one source if you have multiple displays in the room. Now let's go back to the settings and look at the other options. From here, let's take a look at the camera controls. Keep in mind that only certain rooms are equipped with cameras, so you may not see this menu if you teach in a space that isn't equipped with such a unit. This menu will let you take control of the camera to zoom or rotate the device to get the perfect image. These devices are wired to your computer, so generally this menu is only used to configure or set up the camera while you use the classroom computer to manage the software needed to connect to your video conference or recording solution. If you happen to have two cameras in the room, you can select the appropriate camera by pressing the corresponding device on the right-hand side of the screen. Now let's go back to the settings and look at the other options. From here, let's take a look at the volume levels. Keep in mind that rooms of 50 or more are equipped with assisted listening systems or microphone systems, so you will only see this in larger classrooms. From here, you can mute or adjust the specific sound on your wireless mics or on the assisted listening system. Don't forget that the volume for the video source on the display is controlled from the slider at the bottom of the screen. That covers most of the advanced settings that you will use, so let's close this out and go back to the home screen. The last and most important button left to cover is the power button. Pressing this button will bring up a menu that will ask you if you would like to turn the system off. Pressing yes will turn off the projector and display and reset the default source back to the computer. If you turn the system off, give it about 15 to 20 seconds before turning it back on again in order to allow the entire system to power down properly. Before leaving the classroom, be sure to shut down the display equipment, log out of the computer, take your equipment with you, and move the document camera back. For immediate classroom support, contact us at 817-257-7121, and remember to look for the sticker that looks just like this in case you forget the number. It'll be in every classroom.